And I also go live with these, but again, it won't be anything from your words, your experience. It'll just be my face. So just gonna do that. Okay. So let's get started with just talking a little bit about the moment of where we are and the work that we're doing today. So I'm sure we're all coming from, as I said, many different backgrounds, many different traditions, many interpretations of who Mary is and what her experience and story is. She's, she kind of has these sort of four main tenets that people associate with her, which is the perpetual purity, the fact that she was kind of pulled up into heaven at the end of her life, that she is the mother of God, and that she, I believe the other one is that has to do with receiving her visions from Gabriel, but unfortunately don't quote me on that one. But her story is basically that she received this vision from the angel Gabriel, who, very fitting to also be doing Mary work, because we just had full moon in Gemini and the archangel Gabriel is basically Mercury. So it feels like we're kind of moving from that mercurial energy now into that solstice and Christmas energy. And that's also kind of like where it's like with that Gemini, we're now going to be given our own vision the way Mary was. So that is her story. She received this vision. She was chosen by, the powers that be, the creator, God, to basically receive a child that would be a prophet, and to some is the Messiah. I'm not here to preach to you today. I'm going to just kind of talk about her story and talk about my experience a little bit, and then you just take it as you feel safe to, as you feel comfortable to. I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm not someone who personally believes in dogma. I think it's more like you make your own interpretation. So that's where I stand on that. But so she's the mother of God, and obviously or not obviously, but she was born in Nazareth, which is modern day Israel, Palestine. She was basically a Palestinian Jew, so kind of bringing together those two communities kind of in a very harmonic way. But born in Nazareth, gave birth to her son in Bethlehem, and from there worked with him, loved him, raised him until at his death and passing, she was there to mourn him. She, as we saw kind of Christianity become more popularized and spread through many cultures, we can see that she's someone who, for basically everyone, is used as a replacement for local mother goddesses. So I like to see her as kind of a mother of mothers, because all the mothers live in her, the Venus mothers, the Earth mothers, Freya, Kuan Yin, you could even say Isis, all of these kind of older figures, more ancient figures, are replaced by her, and in a way sisters to her. So I feel that if you work with these other goddesses, she's easily someone who can be someone that is relational to them. But if you also just want to work with the Christian tradition of Mary as your saint, your person that you go to, that's safe and wonderful as well. What I find really most important about this subject, and I think is really helpful and kind of necessary to this work, and something, when we're doing womb healing, especially if that feels safe for you to access today, I think it's just important to remember her perpetual purity. I'm using the word purity instead of virginity here, because I think that there's kind of a liminal space between what's judgment and what's an adjective. So I'm using purity because I think it's really about, instead of a rigid expectation on the body, something about respecting each other, respecting our body, our full selves, and just an appreciation for essence. So that's what I really love and appreciate about her, is that she was someone who from beginning to end was believed to be pure of heart. In fact, I think that's Well, that is literally one of her tenets, one of her rules is that she's perpetually pure her entire life. She was announced to have this baby. The decision was out of her hands. And she did have this child, and nothing changed about who she was. She was always considered this saintly, angelic person. Um, you can go so far as to say she's like the voice of all the women that maybe other pagan gods, like Zeus was always conquesting and having all these relations with women, and instead Mary is the voice of the beloved, true, pure self who has a relation with God, but instead she's the saint and she has the power. So there's great healing to be had from her, both in survivorship but also in kind of the appreciation of the self, the unchanging self. Um, and there, more than that, there's also the appreciation of the self that might be neglected, that mother figure. She was ever devoted to her child. It was out of her hands what happened to him, to Christ, but she was always purely devoted to him and was a very loving mother. So it's a sort of another facet to, I think, the healing that we'll be focusing on today is survivorship, but also kind of like the neglect relationship with the mother energy and the ability to kind of be that pure self that's deserving of that title and that status. Um, and some other thoughts, of course, are that she, since her life on this earth, has appeared to many people across time in many different countries. Some may be familiar with the Virgin of Guadalupe. There are others in France or in Portugal or Spain or all these other places. She appears to many people and blesses them. And when I hear those stories, they're just so miraculous. So we're kind of going to be thinking about that as well. But she has that power to appear to you and kind of heal you right there, which is wonderful. And when I think about my own personal experience, I shared this in my newsletter, which everyone is welcome to subscribe to if you feel called to. I actually lived in Bethlehem for a year in my early 20s. And if you've been to Bethlehem or if you haven't, basically the main bus station is, I would say, 2 New York blocks away from the Nativity Church. You just go up the hill and it's there. So I would come home every day and I would spend about an hour at the Nativity Church, at least once or twice a week. So if you've ever been there, it's really beautiful. It's like you're in a place out of time. I'm Syrian, so for me, this was also kind of like coming back to the homeland, but you're in this place that it's the old city. Everything is stone, sandstone, and this church, they have basically the exalted place where she gave birth is this incredible altar that you have to go down kind of into the underground to see, because it was an inn and it was this other place. It's not like it wasn't made to be a church. So it's kind of like you go into this beautiful basement, the most amazing basement you've ever seen. And just to sit there and listen to the hymns, the vibration that you feel is so loving and kind, and that's just people singing about her. So I found that this energy was very life changing, and my middle name is Mary, so I'm sorry if my veil is a little crazy right now, but basically I think that this is something that I connect to and feel strongly about, even though when I was raised, I maybe felt more funny about her, but now I've sort of come around to just feeling safe with her. So again, work with her as you feel comfortable to and as works for you. There's sort of no right or wrong way to do it. It's just how you want to receive. And yeah, so with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and ask for the first music for the first meditation to get started. You guys, if you have any questions, or ladies, I should say, lovely people, if you have questions, you can always DM me, or yeah, just go ahead and DM me if you have questions or if something's coming up that's bothering you. Otherwise, everyone else here is, we can speak in the chat. What we'll do is we'll have the first meditation, we'll take a couple minutes of a break, we'll have the second one, and then at the end is the shares. So if you have the time, it's always great to stay for both so that you can receive the full download. Otherwise, I'm happy to have you regardless of how long you can stay. And yeah, go ahead and get comfortable. If you need a notebook to take notes or anything comes up for you, you can also just use your phone, glass of water, whatever you need. Go ahead and get comfortable and let's get that music started. All right, everyone. Let's all take a moment now to be with the breath. You can close your eyes for this or leave your eyes open, whatever feels right. Let's take a moment so that we may find each other as one heart and one mind in sacred community of love and acceptance and heart healing. What we're going to do is take some deep intentional breaths together. So when I say 9, we're going to breathe in, and when I say 9, we're going to breathe out, and I'll be guiding you. All you need to do is your best, no less or no more. All right, we're going to breathe in 9. And 9, breathe out. 9, breathe in. And 9, breathe out. And 9, breathe in. 9, breathe out. Keep with this. We'll just do a few more here. 9. And 9. 9. And 9. Last one. 9. 9. Let's allow ourselves now the ability to relax and to release the baggage of the heart and the mind. Letting everything come into rest as if we were slowly falling into dream time and sleep. We can let the body rest. the feet, the legs, the joints, the hips and the womb space, stomach, heart and shoulders, throat and neck, and our head, our forehead, and crown, top of the head. Relaxing the skin and the eyes, and relaxing in to our five senses, into our six senses, in fact. Letting the vision rest, the nose, the mouth, the ears. And if you would like, you can look up into your skull, into your forehead, and relax that third eye, inner vision as well. Letting the thoughts of other people come into rest, letting the thoughts of the day, the lists and all the things to do, move away, move out of here. All the thoughts or voices that come up now can be heard as background noise, and instead we return to the breath. The breath is all that we need. We are observing our life from within the vessel for the preciousness and sweetness that it is. We are releasing judgments of ourselves, of our past, and of the people around us. And observing. We are feeling, with this observation, the great divine is speaking to us in all places. The feeling of the great one true absolute in the universe, and welcoming that great divine being within us. Listening to that voice that speaks of the sacred geometry of Metatron's cube and of the dreams of angels beyond physical comprehension, of the great existence of the divine and of the energy beyond the stars. And through all of this, we are welcoming a pure sense of peace, knowing that for the moment we are safe. Here and now is the ability to feel the wonderment of all things, to experience the sparkle of reality in the moment, without being weighed down by what we carry. Today, we are here under this divine alignment of pagan holidays and the birthing of Yeshua, Isa, Jesus Christ, Son of Mary, Son of Mariam, Son of Joseph, Son of Yusuf. In these dark nights of winter, we are finding softness and warmth. May we, as refugees in healing, find this place tonight to rest our heads and to make sense of this unusual world full of miracles and wonder. Just as Mariam took time to rest, giving her child space in an animal's manger in the most gently humble places, so too can we allow ourselves respite without needing extra steps. We are honoring this time of her miraculous birthing. And now we welcome to ourselves the opening of a new vision, as we may feel after this full moon in Gemini that we are receiving again the energy of Mercury and are visited by the herald and vision giver, Archangel Gabriel. Gabriel, who announced the great lady become Theotokos, Mother of God, she whose offspring is God, the messenger who offered the entirety of the Quran to the prophet, the revealer, the vision opener. Gabriel appears now as the angels of old in a form that may be comfortable to us, perhaps man, perhaps woman, perhaps someone in between, human, angel. This being has great wings that fill up the room with air and communication. A being haloed by the light of the heavens, spinning with sacred geometry, eyes sparkling with the sacred flame of the divine. Gabriel comes to us now to announce our journeys to come. And Gabriel offers you a message meant just for you. This is an announcement as well for your future, for your moment now, in this spiritual winter time, in this full moon time. I'm going to offer a blessing of incense. Blessing you with pheasant. Clearing as you receive any downloads. Blessing you with frankincense and myrrh. For you today, this is you today. Be blessed as you today. And the angel Gabriel, now in front of you, opens his mouth, and out comes his song of visions and of the future. This is a voice of whispers and shouts, the voice of the heavens, of the earth and the unearthed, the voice of God and of all the gods and all the saints. For Gabriel is their herald, and he is here to announce a visitor to your home today, a visitor across time, a traveler across all worlds, a spirit friend and ally to you. Listening to this voice, and listening to this reminder, this introduction. For today, you have been chosen to see a revelation, and you are being invited to be inspired by heaven and all that is under its command. This is a person of great virtue from a time long past, the Mother of God in perpetual purity, giving birth through the wonders of spirit, and who, at the end of her days, was assumed to a heaven after falling asleep. Mary, Mother of God, Theotokos, now will come to you, will bless you, and will give you a message for yourself, a reminder of your value and joy and integrity in all days and all ways. Gabriel points, and she will appear to you for this stop on your spiritual journey, so that you may fulfill our master plan and move with the accordance of the laws of nature and spirit from beyond the veil Upon us now is the moment of meeting. In this holiday, in this remembering of the gift of her birth, the gift of her son to this world, the gifts she receives and the gifts she sacrificed. May we be open to the voice of the divine feminine, to the voice of the Mother of God and the voice of God herself. Gabriel, through his final gesture, wishes you any final parting words of wisdom and flies away. And in this moment of meeting now, you may keep your eyes closed or open them halfway or only a partial way. But breathe now into the space of the in-between and of dream and awakened state. Feeling the quality of the room around this appearance. Feeling the light, the air around us. Being really, really present with this vision, apparition. Of the Great Mother. Allowing our views of reality to shift and coming together in heart and mind now. Infinite love, take us home so that we are grateful for the presence of mind and spirit, so that we may live in exaltation and receive. And Our Lady Theotokos wears the robes of her ancestors, a solar crown of sunbeams and a halo. And where she stands, she projects her great frequency of the Mother of our Creator God, Mary frequency. She holds an energy beyond the human mothers. She blends with the elements and the earth's echoes. We are watched over with the loving energy of a gentle, kind, and healing mother figure. Someone who is soft and knowing and accepting. She has arrived. She is here. And we are in amazement. We are stricken by this energy. And we can fully rest, finally, for the great beauty of the world and all of its objects is here with us, loving us today for our support. With your eyes half closed or closed, you may take in her figure if she appears to you in aura or as a full being. She, like Our Lady of Guadalupe, is an apparition to us, a vision and miracle. And she is with us in all ways. We receive her spiritually, energetically, physically. And through her, we feel the earth rising to meet us, and the heavens and cosmos falling down to greet us. And as this energy is rising and growing, so is our frequency rising now in space, in our space, and in our room, our time. We may not fully be connected to her yet. And so as her energy is great, so is ours from afar, under her loving gaze, growing and rising with the support of the heavenly bodies to reflect her and be with her. Our energy is becoming so tall that they are like the tops of our buildings, skyscrapers, as wide as the neighborhood. Our gentleness and sweetness growing with our aura, knowing that this growth cannot be taken away from you. Any ways that you have been limited in the past, you cannot be today. A lot of releasing happening, energetic releases, as we allow ourselves to be expressed beautifully and perfectly, that in your gentleness, your frequency of inner beauty, inner kindness, inner love, just as we met her through Gabriel, can now meet and make friends in connection with the frequency of your apparition of Mary. And let us all find comfort with her presence before us now. And she comes to us speaking in our words, in our language, through this meeting. And she speaks as the Virgin of Guadalupe spoke to Juan Diego so many years ago. Am I not here, I who am your mother? And she is so strong and so real. She places a great cloak of comfort around our shoulders. And this presence and this weight is sacred in its ability to give us hope and love through her sweetness. And we may feel her embrace through the warmth of this cape that protects us and shields us from the world around us. And now she offers to you gifts, just as she was given gifts at the birth of her son. Placing in your hands a symbol, a gift meant only for you, a symbol that she explains you must hold in your heart. And she whispers in your ear a secret meant just for you, reminding you, as she has in many other apparitions to many other children of hers, the importance of her message. And she speaks and says, give your work openly. You can be saved. You are deserving of saving. You can always make a bad situation right, even if it is just for yourself. You will always triumph. She reminds you that you are beloved in all ways. And so, as we come to the close of this first meditation, let us take a final moment to receive anything else that we need from this experience and to say our temporary goodbyes before we return back to physical reality for our break. All right, we're going to keep the music on now for the break. I ask that you stay on mute if you do return, just so that you can be respectful of where everyone else is in the meditation. However, if you'd like to put any reactions into the chat or speak to each other, you're welcome to do so. You may take some notes. And in about 2 minutes, we will start the second meditation. All right, we're gonna get started soon with the second music coming on back. Thank you to all who are staying. I think we are good to get started. So let's take a moment and get back into space, opening to the thrum of the beauty in the universe. Let's take 3 intentional breaths here. When I say 9, we'll breathe in, and then 9 again to breathe out. 9. 9. 9. 9. And 9. 9. Opening ourselves to a comfortable weight of gentleness, knowing that all things are sacred here and now. We are one and we are many. We focus in on the self, the individual, and we see that individual as one among many in this group ceremony tonight, focusing in as one group among many groups in one great community of beings that walk this earth. We are one and we are all. Zooming out to the big picture while all in the center. We are all children of this vast universe. We all stem from one great father and one great mother. And we honor you today, Mother Mary, Mother of God, Mother to all of us, and face of the many mothers. I offer my prayer. Rejoice, O branch of the unwithering vine. Rejoice, O land yielding the untainted. Rejoice, O field, bearing abundant compassion. Rejoice, O table, laden with an abundance of mercies. Rejoice, for you make the meadow produce contentment. Rejoice, for you prepare a haven for souls. Rejoice, acceptor of the incense of intercession, and rejoice, oblation for all the world. Rejoice, favor of God to mortals, and access of mortals to God. Mother of the Lamb and Shepherd, fold of the rational sheep. O defense against invisible woes, and opener of the gates of paradise. Rejoice for the things of heaven, rejoice with the earth. Rejoice firm support of the faith. Rejoice, you through whom we are clothed with glory, shining token of grace. And as we feel comfortable to, let us now allow again the energy of Mother Mary to re-enter our space and time. She who was considered forever pure of spirit, regardless of her story, real, mythologized, written and rewritten, we know her as pure-hearted through the ages, the being whose value never changed. And who remained untouched by the vibrational energies of the people around her. With all that she came in contact with and all that she did, she remained. She insists that we spend this time now to find the healing of grace, of her wisdom, as she brings us the great love of the Mother. And if you choose to accept, she will place her hands on you so that she may heal us today. And I will also send Reiki vibration to each and every one of you to further this download. And her energy is so soft energy. She is inviting positively charged energy to us. She invites the grace of all things. Grace of the divine dance that connects us all. Receive this healing wherever you want to. This may be in your womb or your stomach, your throat, your mind. Any places of injury. And again, our souls are magnified by the benevolence. We are fed by her and nourished by the energy of her healing hands. These hands, with sweet mother energy, ever youthful, but ever loving. There are no boundaries crossed here. There's no force. Only the meeting of your energy with your permission, with love, asking for your acceptance, to allow for sacredness to enter your consciousness. Our crowns are opening, and the pureness of our hearts is growing and growing. Her vibration of kindly, divine feminine and glow is slowly transferring to us and transmuting us so that we are finding serenity and a sense of peace comes over us. We are resting. We are seen. We are accepted. And we are offered love. For she is the seed of all goddesses in one. Kuan Yin, Freya, Ishtar, Aphrodite, Shakti. She holds a piece of their hearts in hers as the true mother of the people of the book. And from her healing, there is tender, maternal love and life. May we now be priestess or priest in this sacred ritual. May we live our lives in prayer to our sacred existence. And may we receive from her all that we were meant to receive. With the grace of a swan, she invites us to consider the wounds of the mother, inviting us to transform this where there was neglect or an obsession with doing something wrong, or an obsession of being wrong, a feeling of scarcity, or a feeling of lack of self. We see Mary's vision turning to this energy and witnessing it for us. She eyes us as a doctor, with pure intention to alleviate the hurt and dress the wound. And you may now also feel an opening of the wounds of the womb. Allow her to see all that you choose to show her as a survivor, as a human being, as a child of the infinite. Through her eyes, we may see as she sees you. With the kindness and level-headedness and serenity of the healer, of the doctor, of someone in their wellness, and who understands the full reality of being someone who has hurt, who has gone through the unfair, who has experienced parts of the self and parts of our story that could not and cannot be repeated to the future of our children to come, if not from our bodies, then from future generations that we may come into contact with, see, teach, or simply know. Whatever attachments live within us, of the wounded inner child, the wounded warrior, the wounded self, to the places where we relive the story, to the places where we were made to be unfairly vulnerable without our desire, without the correct attention paid to us, whether it was lack thereof or inappropriate. Let it all be seen. Blessing us all now with flower agate. Gentleness, kindness, sweetness. She sees us purely. She listens to our story and sees where we were forced to survive instead of to thrive, where we needed nourishment, where we were found to be lacking through no fault of our own. She listens. And she refills your cup, offering the opportunity for you right now, in this exact moment, to simply exist. You are pure of heart, just as you are. My beautiful child, she says. I hope that you can see within you all the deserving, all the worth, all the beauty, all the promise. I give you the patience of self that you were not given. I give you the teaching, the understanding, and forgiveness of a fully nurtured being. Her hands now move into your aura and through psychic surgery and the great power of spirit, the great power of the Queen of Light and Shadows, the Lady of the Gift and the Mother of God. She reaches in and removes your energetic cords. She removes the pain from the sacral. She She removes any wounds from the back, from the stomach, and the throat. She takes that she's seen, like removing splinters, removing shards of glass, removing knives. And she invites you to release the attachments of the hungry ghosts within us. In turn, removing them from you. Cupping her hands and removing with reverence for your vessel, as she is the High Lady of love and compassion, and so she moves with kindness and consideration. She removes the manipulated feelings of being wrong, for needing safety, for needing to be heard. She sees you as full self with all of your woundings. And breathe into this release. She throws all of this, all that she has removed, into the shadows so that you may be free, so that you may be replaced of this energy with the certainty of the self, the certainty of pureness of mind and soul always. Being certain of your pure, true self, and reminded of the divine softness and grace in the face of your woundings. She hangs around your neck, garlands of lights and golden flecks, decorating you with the illumination and celebration of a mother dressing a child for a recital. For life is the play we must act in, working with creativity, with the attempt to match desire and thought into action and respectful interaction. She is readying you for the game of life. You are the fruition of her dream given by the great angel Gabriel. You are the abundant universe and living being. You are the flower in the garden of earth that she planted. And your growth is beautiful. She continues to bless you now, so that you are brought into the cycles of the seasons and of growth with ease. She offers you blessings of divine ordering. And she again offers you rest, rest, rest. For the inner workings of the world and its esoteric mysteries are all a part of the unfolding, so that we may be free from illusion. And the veils are lifted so that we may know our true self and come to ourselves with love and understanding. Knowing that as her child, we can continue to creatively play until we find our path, that fun is still a part of our lives, and that kindness and that joy and that absolute pure grace is a part of even the deepest wounds. As we are coming into this time of knowing with great love that we may also know that we are not simply sinners. We are not meant to repent for our harms. We are meant to learn lessons some that are seen clearly, and some still yet to be ironed out and made clear. We will always triumph, and good will always triumph. In the big picture, all on earth is our community. The mountains and the trees are just as much our sisters and brothers as the lizards and the fish and the birds and the cats and the dogs, the horse, the cow, and even the first humans in caves. And we are all children of the great creation. We are all still learning and growing and grasping for understanding. In this playground of abundant life, there is always struggle. There is always the possibility of rebuilding and rejoicing. The tower will always fall, and the city will always be rebuilt again. In everything is God, Goddess, Creator, Divine Source, and all heavenly creation. Each moment itself is purity and grace, and in all things, we are beloved by all creators, saints, holy prophets, ascended masters, and by this great being, Mother Mary, Mariam. And she reminds you now that your wisdom is in purely being yourself. You are exalted before life, during life, and after life. And just as Mary is the perpetually pure, with all that changes, you will always remain unchanged. Fully in your beauty, fully in your sweetness, the evergreen, the ever beloved. No one has ever taken your worth from you. Not one person can take your worth from you. She says it loudly and she says it softly. No one can change the fact that you are you and that there is no one like you. Not one person, not one person will take your worth from you. However you were born or raised or lived, your essence is untouched by these currents of experience. And you can be guided by the knowledge that your truth and strength is innate, untouchable, unchangeable. Breathe here, breathe, and know that you will always be the courageous person you have always been. Mary has seen it all, and she will watch and protect you through it all. You are the perpetually pure, and you are not less for any part of your story. You are pure even through the most difficult of wounds, the ever sweet and soft and joyful. May you find love in all of life's paths, for Mary has offered this to you. And all hurts remembered, whether given or received, are a dream, just as her apparition today. All memory, all reality is mixed with the visions of dream. And so together, with great happiness and kindness, we can reweave our story to be a part of the perpetual harmony of all things. For she loves you, and she is devoted to your growth through all things at all times. She is the Great Mother, and we thank her and honor her. And now it is coming time to have our final goodbyes. So take a moment here and listen if there's anything else to hear, or say what is left to be said. She squeezes our hands one last time in thanks and farewell, leaving behind the flower of you. And she leaves us with the happiness and the remembrance of her truth as a part of our truth always. I mean, that concludes for today. The music can stop now. I'm going to stop all the recordings.